2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Confessions with the Cougar and the Cub. This is your host, Justin Vandeventer.
And I am the better half of this podcast, Carrie, the Cougar Lazzarino.
This podcast, we are going to give you the male and female perspective on everyday issues and relationship problems.
And I'll give you the right answer from real ladies, just like myself, a true badass.
And I'll try to translate to you cavemen out there that don't quite understand women yet.
So let's dive in.
And enjoy this episode with the Cougar and the Cub. Hey guys, welcome back to Confessions with the Cougar and the Cub. This is your host, Justin Vandeventer, and with me is the other host of this wonderful podcast.
Hey there, hey. Hey, babe.
How's it going?
It's going. How's everybody out there in podcast land? You doing all right?
Want to give them your name?
Oh, no, they should already know. If they're already tuning in, they already know I am the Cougar, the better half of this podcast. This is Carrie, by the way. There you go.
There we go.
There we go.
Well, welcome back, guys. I hope you liked episode 1, and now we are just going to dive a little deeper into this dating.
Yes, we are. Let's do it.
So in this episode, I think we're going to move along with, you guys have already had the first date. You're about to go into getting serious.
Yeah.
Maybe start seeing each other exclusively.
Yeah, definitely. That was actually my question, is when to decide to be exclusive or not to be exclusive. I think with us, we went slow in the beginning and then we got hot and heavy. But for the average person, I would have to say 3 to 4 months. Does that sound right, maybe, to be exclusive?
I mean, I don't think there is a time limit, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there is an expiration date.
Yeah.
On being exclusive, but I don't think there is a timeline on when you should be exclusive, in my opinion.
Okay, like you feel it or you don't, right?
Yeah,
like
I think when you meet the person, you know.
You do. You're like, I want them off the market. I don't want anybody else touching them, kissing them, period.
Right.
Okay, yeah. All right, so then I guess that's up for discussion, and I guess both parties have to be on the same page, but then that kind of leads into, what if like one person is falling faster, which I kind of think is normal. But like, what if... Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah, so...
I know we didn't talk about that, but that's like real deal stuff.
And that's how these questions should go. I mean,
right.
These are...
our base, but then we kind of lead into other stuff. Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know. I don't know what you do. Because I think... you can also press a little too hard and push the person away.
Right.
And
yeah, like you definitely don't want to say like, hey, what is like an ultimatum or something. You don't want them to feel like, oh, you're not on the same page or whatever. And then, they get scared because you're already like planning the wedding. And that's not what I'm saying. But yeah, right. I mean, I guess it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing because like now in the dating industry, in the dating world, everybody I feel it's just one swipe away. They don't like what you sometimes. And I'll be honest, when I was on the dating sites and stuff, I mean, I would be talking to multiple people, I mean, I wasn't like giving them all of my attention, but I definitely was, swiping in. If one person wasn't around, maybe I would talk to another person. And I just think that's a little bit kind of how the world is now. I know more than just myself that has done that. And I don't know if it's just because we have a plethora of people at our disposal,
Yeah. So I guess my question is how do you know when to bring it up too?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you're spending like all of your time with the person and you're just like, I don't want to spend my time with anybody else. Like, I don't want to. I'm ready. I think, maybe it's like, well, I don't want to be on this dating site anymore. Like, I just want to be with this person. And you're not thinking of other people. And then maybe that's when you discuss it.
Do you think the guy is faster to be an exclusive or the woman?
Oh, man. I think it depends because if we're talking about you and I feel like you're definitely the more sensitive one than I am. And so I think everybody is on different levels. And also, too, depending on what they've been through. Right. Like if you were hurt or say you were cheated on or something like that and you've got your guard up and a wall up, then you're going to definitely be a little bit harder to to kind of come around. So, yeah.
I think it'd be a little more 50-50 on that.
Yeah.
Because I think the woman has more options.
Oh, 100%. 100%. We have so many more options. Like a drop of a hat, we can, I mean, and that sucks. Like, I think Bumble is the one where like the women have to like reach out to the guys first. Like, I think that I didn't like it when I was on that.
Because of rejection?
I do. I hate rejection.
Yeah.
You know that already. I hate it.
And guys go through that every day of their life.
Every day. I heard somewhere that men have been learning rejection and the word no since they were age 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate it. That's why I sucked at sales jobs. Like, if somebody tells me no, I'm like, they hate me. They think I'm ugly. Like, I legit think I'm like the worst person.
Yeah.
So dumb. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Well, moving on. What do you got for me?
When do you think is a good idea to introduce the kids and bring them around and introduce them to the rest of your family?
Oh, gosh. Well, definitely you got to have that exclusiveness for sure. That's for sure. God, I don't know if there's a time, but I'm like I'm kind of thinking like 5-ish months. You got to know that like it's, God, you don't want to be introducing them to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, So like if they're like, oh, here's mom again, whatever, that would just suck. I'm like, well, here's another one. So I think you're going to know. Right. You're going to know. Like, you're just going to be like, yeah, I think this person is like potential to be my partner for a long while. Even if you don't maybe see marriage or something, you're like, I could definitely see this person in my life for a long time, and trying to be where you have to, to choose between, not choose, but to have the kids or like see that person where it's so much easier just to be like, hey, we're all going to go to a park and I could see my kids, I can see my girl or my guy. And, not that you do it out of convenience, but yeah, you just want to, I don't know. I just feel like you're going to know when it's right. Like, I feel like, with us, we did it, I feel like relatively soon, but again, we kind of did a lot like that. But I knew you were the one pretty much right away. So.
Yeah, I think you can't introduce the kids until you know that it's going to be a serious relationship.
Yes. If you think it's just like we're just playing, having fun, whatever, then yeah. No, you don't.
If you're just messing around and not taking it serious,
right?
You don't bring the kids in. Don't make them involved.
No. Now, maybe if you have like adult kids, but like with us, we have younger kids. So I think like if you have like adult kids, then maybe.
Yeah, but I don't even think you should do it even if you have an adult kid. Because, I mean, then that's just. Because, I mean, we've said it time and time again with kids, you want to show them what you should deserve and what they should do.
True, like they're, yeah.
Like you're setting the example. What they see, they're going to go after.
Right.
And if you're dating multiple partners revolving door here,
they're going to think that's normal.
They're going to think that's normal, and that's what they got to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't even think you should do it for them. Like,
yeah, which I love. Like, like with us, like this is just kind of. It doesn't even make any sense, but like whenever we leave a room, before we leave a room, we always kiss. And I love how like Logan, it's like again, but we're teaching him, you know, and that, I mean, not every relationship I think is going to be like that, but I think he's really learning, like, to open the doors or to, just, I don't know. He's learning a lot from you and how to treat a woman. Yeah. So, all right.
Now, do you think, now, when do you introduce the family?
Oh.
Do you think it matters? Should there be a time difference or?
Yes, because how about what if like you're starting to date and it's like say October and then it's going to be Thanksgiving? Well, just because I feel one way about you, I don't feel like I should have to bring you to Thanksgiving dinner. Like yeah. So in that instance, I'd be like, yeah, we're going to have to wait like a season or something like that. Like, let's get through the holidays. Or something like that. Like, I would never bring somebody I'm just dating to, like, holiday dinner. Just wouldn't happen. I don't feel like my family should have to be like, oh, my God, here's, now we have to say what we're thankful for. And, mom has this boyfriend here. Like, that's just weird. I wouldn't do that to my family. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I did that.
Not with us.
No. Mm-mm. So... Yeah, I guess I could see that. So the kids can know, and then family later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah. And with that, here's kind of something too I wanted to touch on is like with us, I know I keep on bringing it back to us, but with us, like I knew your sister before I knew you, and I was super concerned, like, oh my God, I don't think your sister liked me. How is that going to be? And I remember you saying, do you remember what you said?
My sister's not dating you.
Yeah.
Well, I am.
But in that situation, like suppose that is something like where, you know, what if the kid doesn't like, you know,
You still in the question
I
again.
did. I knew. I did not mean.
This is two episodes
I did not
in a
mean
row
to, but it
that
made
you
sense.
did.
It made sense. My bad. My bad. Scratch it off your list. But with that said, though, like I was concerned that she wasn't going to like me, and then you said what you said. But then, like, what if the kids, you know, like, what do you do? Or like baby mama drama. Like I don't know. There's just so many things. Or like daddy drama. Like there's just. Do you just at what point do you say, you know what, like I'm in this relationship and I have the last say? So
All right, I'm going to ask my question about this.
Okay.
So then we can just kind of get it
over, and then you probably got to scratch it off.
What do you do if a family member or a kid doesn't like the person you're dating? Mm-hmm. And like you're saying, my sister, you were worried about.
Yes. It ended up working out.
Yeah.
She and I are fine, and your other sister were all fine. But in that situation, like, I think it's going to be like, could they be the thorn in the side? And are they going to be telling their sibling, you know, oh, I don't like so-and-so because, you know, and just like giving you negative.
So for me, I don't think a family member should affect your relationship. They shouldn't have any say, any power, any weight on your relationship.
No, they shouldn't.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
They can hate you or whatever. Then I guess, look, this is my life. This is who I'm picking. This is who I want to be with. You can either like her or not.
What if they?
Because I didn't pick you. I picked her.
What if they share their opinion and they're like, you know what? I don't think she's right for you, or he's right for you. And do you just say, you know what? I don't want to hear it. Like it's
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it could put a wedge between you and your sibling.
Yeah, definitely. But
yeah.
Hey, you didn't choose your sibling.
True.
You're choosing who you want to spend your time with.
True. Okay.
As much as you, I mean, they say blood is thicker than water.
Oh, that's such BS.
But
right.
I mean, your sibling should either accept it.
Right.
And then if it doesn't work out, they can say, "See, I told you."
Right.
But you got to bite your lip.
Yeah. Okay.
But on the other hand, if the kid,
that's a hard one.
That's a hard one, because that's somebody that's gonna be around.
Right. And they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the kid doesn't like it, then I mean, you got to work on it and talk to them and see if they can adjust to it and
or ask them
work
why.
through it and ask why, and then maybe it'll open your eyes to see what the kid sees and all that.
Yep.
But if the kid's just being a kid and being selfish, then that's a different story. But,
right. Thankfully, yeah. All right, that's good stuff.
Because I mean, with you were worried about my sister, and when I first showed up, Logan was kind of like, I don't know about this one.
But but you already knew. But but then he did say that. But like now he is like right there.
Now he's like
your sidekick.
He's practically. I mean,
I
accept him as my own.
Right, exactly, and the same with me and Gracie. Like, I mean, and I love that. But that's again, I think it's just when it all works and you find the right person, then it does work out like that. But yeah, it could have been. We could have been singing a whole different tune.
Right.
For sure. Yeah. Sorry to cut in on your... It just led right in. I didn't mean for it to happen like that.
We're going to have to figure out how we can do this without
I know.
you.
I know, but that's just how I am.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Well, my next question is really, really good.
Okay.
And, so remember to the people out there, if you're listening, I am 11 years older. Okay. So sometimes us older women have a higher sex drive. Sometimes the guys do. I don't know. I don't know what it is in your relationship, but sometimes, what if you have the higher sex drive? What do you do? What if your person that you're with doesn't have the highest sex drive or doesn't have the sex drive like you have? Is it okay to masturbate more, introduce porn? I mean, how does the other person deal with it?
So I think it's pretty much how it is in every relationship. Like every part of the relationship is there's a compromise.
Yeah.
You got to meet. You got to be able to try to go both ways. she's either got to come down and the guy's got to come up, or they both got to meet at some point.
Yeah.
If they want this to really truly work,
Right.
they both have got to work on it, on what they're both comfortable with,
Okay.
on what they like, and change.
Right. Because like masturbating, I feel like as when we're younger and whatnot, they do teach us, I felt like in school or health or whatever, like it's definitely not talked about. And, I remember thinking that it was like a dirty thing and things like, that it wasn't anything really that it's definitely done in private, which obviously that should be. But I mean, what if they're doing it and you're laying there next to them and they're just like, well, I'm not in the mood. And they're like, well, F it then. I'm just going to do this right here. And it's like, I don't know, like if that's, I don't know. I think that's disrespectful, don't you think?
I think that's a little disrespectful
That is.
too. And
Yeah.
like I said, that's part of
Compromise.
the compromise.
Right. Because I feel like in most relationships in the beginning, you are really like hot and heavy.
Yeah.
Hot and heavy, but then it kind of like slows down. But again, like there are some people that like, medically they could have like a higher sex drive, or like medically the other way, that they could just like, or if you're menopausal or whatever, for women, or if you're like an older guy, sometimes, you might have issues in that department. So, I don't know. To me, that kind of sometimes could lead up to like, what if the other person, decides to like stray or something like that because they're not being satisfied in bed. But again, you have to just like have those kind of discussions.
Yep. And if you're having those kinds of problems, you got to talk about it, and
Right.
you got to talk about it a lot, and you got to talk about it often.
Right.
And if you're not talking about it, then that's when things go astray.
Right. Yep.
And I think, like I said, you both have to work on it, and you
Yeah.
both got to compromise and meet somewhere
In the middle.
where it works for both of you,
Right.
and where you both are happy or can at least
Right.
would do.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, and you can't find that happy ground, and you can't meet, that is a strong enough thing to where I think the relationship might not work if you're not being satisfied completely.
Right. Well, and I look at it, and I know we didn't discuss this, but I look at relationships in like 100%. So not every relationship is going to be 100%. So I can't put like what sex is to me. Like, is it 20 or 50 or whatever percent? I don't know. But if like you're not being satisfied in bed and you can't stand the person, or maybe that's all you have is sex. So then how, so then if that's all you have and you're like, I don't really like them, or I don't want to be in this relationship, but you keep on staying because of that, then maybe the relationship isn't going to work. But if you have other commonalities, you like, to share the same interests or whatever, then, maybe it could be not such a big thing. Obviously, it is such a big thing where two people come together, but it doesn't need to be the breaking point, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, it's a big enough part of the relationship that it could end it.
Yep.
But that's where if that's a big problem for you in your relationship,
Yeah.
that's where you need to start breaking out the scale and pulling out the chips and going, he's good here, he's bad there, he's good.
When
or
he talks
she's
about
good
chips,
here,
he's
she's
talking
bad.
about dildos, by the way, or not, whatever, whatever you're.
And figure out if that's which way the scale's going to tip for you.
Yeah. Right. What's most important?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you can just like throw it all away and thinking, oh my goodness, that like the grass is greener on the other side. And then you try and go find it and you're back to square one. Like, if you have enough, connecting factors, then, just the grass is only greener where you water it, right?
Yeah. And you need to look at it, at that person to see and decide, like, that's it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're in a relationship and sex is like the breaking point, like, I think that's a problem.
That could be, yeah. And I
like, if that's
too.
all you have, like, that's physical, then
then that's not the person for you.
that's not the person. Nah, that is not the person for you. So anyway.
Because you're not connecting on all levels.
No.
And as a young person, probably listening to this, they're probably thinking, sex is huge. Sex is a big thing.
Right.
And it is when you're it is a big part of the relationship, but when you connect on all the other levels of the relationship,
then I think you can maybe look past a little bit of the other things because you have the other stuff. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that sex should be obsolete, but
no,
you need to be happy. I mean, if you're going to say, problem with today is everybody gives up so damn easily
Yes.
and thinks divorce and this and that, and
Yeah.
I can just get out of this, and they don't want to work on it. But there's so much other parts of the relationship that if you're not happy in that, then don't make the commitment
Right.
to begin with.
Right.
Figure out if that person's the person
Right.
before you make the giant commitment.
Right.
You know, back in the day, marriage was forever.
Yeah.
And now it's
Like 60%, I think, divorce rate right now.
no,
And especially
climbing.
and especially in second and third marriages. And especially when you don't have kids with each other, it's huge.
Mhm.
Like I sometimes think about that, like with us or with people like in their second marriage. You know, you don't, at least when you have the kids and you're married and, you know, the kids are your common ground, you know, you tend to want to stay together because for the kids or whatever, not to say that that's right, but you do tend to stay together. So when you don't have that, then maybe you're more willing to give up. And that's not necessarily right. But, you know, 60% of people, I think in the U.S., think it is right. So
Yeah.
before you go walking down the aisle, you better figure out and get your shit together.
And like I said, if you're having problems in this area, you got to talk about it.
Yeah.
If you're not talking about it, then it's just going to build into a bigger problem.
What do you think about like when you're having problems like therapy? You know, like when you're dating? Because like I've done marriage family therapy when I was married, but what about as like a couple? Like say this is something that's affecting you or whatever. Like, is it okay to maybe go to the therapist even though you're not like married?
I don't like therapy.
I know.
I hate therapy.
Yeah. But I think it's
but-
good.
But it is
I'm
good.
for it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
if you can't talk about it
Yeah.
and you're not one, then you're probably going to have to go to
Right.
therapy.
And have like
But
an
if you can open up and talk with each other, I don't think you need the therapy.
Yeah.
If you can be honest and forward and just
Right.
talk about it,
Right.
why do you need the third party there?
Right.
But if you're having trouble opening up and talking about it on either side of the relationship, him or her, then maybe you do need the third person to help
Right.
open up the doors on that subject.
Right. Because, like, a lot of times, too, I don't know if guys do this, but as women, we talk to our friends. And, you know, I've been in a relationship years ago where I had this one friend that was, like, anti her, I hate to say it, but baby daddy. And, like, anytime I would tell her something about the person I was with, she immediate was like, oh, my God, he's terrible, blah, 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 blah. And I was so, I don't know what it was about her, but I would listen to her. And I legit would, like, end it with him. And it was terrible because he didn't deserve that. But like I was venting to the wrong person. Like I was venting to somebody that had so much hatred towards like the opposite sex. Not that she was, you know, like had the hots for me. It wasn't like that. That sounds like that. But she just was like a hater of men or at least in whatever. And so she really wasn't a good sounding board for me. And I don't know. So maybe just having that like unbiased, and also, too, like if ever you talk to your parents or your siblings about the other person, then just note that they're always going to have those negative things that you explain to them. Even though you tell them that in confidence, they will literally bring it up at the worst times. Like I've never met a family member or a friend that hasn't brought it up. And I'm like, well, I thought we talked about that in confidence. Didn't know that you were going to bring that up again
Right.
type of thing. So I hate when people do that. So just watch who you talk to because sometimes they have a different agenda. So yeah, watch out. Yeah. All right, we're moving along. I'm loving how this is going. Go, babe.
All right.
Your turn.
Is it bad to only want to be with your person? And is it hard coping because you only want to be with your person? Your friend dynamics is going to change. Is it hard coping with that?
Well, I can only explain that with us. And I'm sure like people don't want to hear this, but for us, we always want to hang together. Like we don't want to ever be around anybody else except for our kids and our family. But I think when you know, and I'm sure that's so annoying because it's cliche, but with us, we do it. I mean, before I met you, I was drinking a lot, going out a lot, and things like that. And I haven't drank. I don't go out anymore and I do not miss it at all.
Yeah.
So I just only want to be with you. Not to say that like if a friend asked me, like a friend and I met for lunch the other day and had another one recently asked today, like, hey, let's hang out. And I'm like, yeah, let's do coffee or lunch. Like, that's what I want to do. You know, I want to be able to be in bed or at home. You know, I want to do the rituals like we do baseball, dance, music, whatever, and dinner. Like, I just want to be able to have that. And I think that's when you find the right person, then it all aligns. And I think as, when we go out and go partying and drinking and doing all the things we do, I think sometimes we're going out looking for sex. Sometimes we're going out hoping to find a partner. And, I found my partner. And so for me, I don't want to do any of those unless you're right beside me.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad to only want to be with your partner. I mean, that's what you're looking for.
Right. Exactly.
Like, when you're going out single, that's what you are looking for.
Right.
So your friends have got to accept that that's...
Right. Like, it all led up to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
What did you think was going to happen? Like,
right.
I was just going to be with you forever? Like,
right.
We're not in a relationship. I'm looking for a relationship.
Right.
So, and the other side of it is, it makes me mad when they get mad, but I don't get mad at you for wanting to still drink. Go out and go party. Go have fun.
Right.
I mean, I will always be there for you when you need help, but I'm not your drinking buddy anymore.
Right. Yeah. Like, that's past. That ship has sailed. Long gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know. And here's another thing, too. Like, it's hard, I think, when you stop drinking and you have the friends like you used to have that still want to drink. Because, you have that event coming up in a couple of months where I asked you today, and you said, yeah, it's pretty much they're all drinking and stuff. And I said, well, are you going to? And you said, no. But, like, I know for myself, I feel weird going out if people are drinking. Like, not that I was a big drinker other than when I was partying, but, like, I don't know. I just feel, like, weird.
Yeah, and, like I said, the dynamic of your friends is going to change, and
yeah,
you know who your good friends are and who you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to know who your friends are and who your drinking buddies are.
True.
And, like I said, when we go to that thing,
yeah,
you asked me, are you going to drink? I said, no, I'm going to go and say hi and show my face and see how everybody's doing and see how their families are and kind of, stay in touch like you would, almost like a family reunion, you know?
Yeah.
And then when shit starts going downhill and they start getting
rowdy.
Yeah, and it's not fun anymore and they're just belligerent. I'm like, all right, my time here is done.
Right. We'll see you next year.
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
It's
party season.
And, same like when we go out with your friends. Like, it doesn't need to be a...
Let's see who can get shit-faced first.
That or we're here and then, why do we have to be here until dark? Why do we have to be here until 2 a.m.?
Because I used to close down the bar. That's why. And so it became the norm. But yeah. And maybe that's why I don't want to do it anymore, because I just don't know how to do it like as a quote unquote normal person. So it's just best. But again, I never went out as a youngster, and just so I don't feel like I'm missing out anything. But I guess you just have to broach that, and hopefully the friends that you call, you should only really have a couple, close friends anyway. The others are the acquaintances and all that. So, yeah. So,
and like I said, the only thing that would bug me is if my friends didn't accept that we were leaving.
Right.
And the only thing that would bug me is when your friends don't accept.
Right. Yeah. And you should be able to, like, honestly, and there was that one situation when that happened, and it was so awkward, and I don't think I knew, because, again, I had been drinking, and so, yeah, I know I did that.
You gotta turn the mic.
I know I did it, and then I heard it, and
turn it more, because
you
gotta talk to the side.
Like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
my
into
God.
the side. You keep looking away. And
wow.
She's Italian, so
I talk with my hands.
Yeah, when her voice changes and all that, it's because she's flopping around like a fish over here. And I keep pointing to her. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Well, and let's be honest. There's lots of traffic out here, so I'm watching all the pretty cars. We saw the ugly Tesla, though. Oh, God, that Tesla's so ugly.
The truck. The Tesla truck.
God. So ugly. Anyway, yes. So I'm a talker like that with my hands, and yeah. All
so
right,
yeah,
good stuff. Yeah.
I think. I mean, we pretty much answered that question.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Is it bad to only want to be? Yeah, I don't think it's bad to only want to be with your person.
No.
I mean, you found your person, and that's who you want to be with.
Don't isolate yourself. That's the thing. Like, if you're like, no, I can't go out because so and so said I can't, or or whatever. Like, yeah, do not isolate yourself.
I don't ever stop you from going to have lunch with your friends, or even going out at night with your friends.
Right.
The only time it's ever going to be a problem is if we're closing down the bar multiple nights in a row.
Yeah.
Like, even closing down the bar every once in a while, I could give two shits less.
Right. Yeah.
But if it's, all right, we're going out Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, and maybe one day during the week, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to work.
Right. Yeah.
We got a family. Like, we're trying to be a family here.
Yeah.
If you...
Yeah. No. That's it. That is... Yeah. Okay, so that then ties into my question, which is, if you don't like her core group of friends, does she have to decide between you or them? Do you get mad when she wants to go out, or if she does choose to see them? Do you get mad? How does that make you feel?
Say that one more time.
Okay. So say, like, I have my core group of friends or whatever. Do you get mad? Like, say you don't like them, and you're like, I don't like Jenny. Okay. I don't like her. She's terrible. She's bad news, whatever. Does that now mean I don't get to hang with Jenny? Or do you, get that say so? Because now it's going to make me feel like, well, he doesn't like Jenny. And so, like, I don't think I can like Jenny. How is that?
I will suck it up and try to be around him.
Okay.
But if it keeps bugging me to the most, I will never ever tell you that you can't be friends with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how a relationship should work,
right,
in my eyes. But if Jenny isn't treating me with respect every time I'm there, why would I treat her with respect, or even want to give her my respect, or even spend my time with her?
True.
Like, if you want to still stay friends and she gives you the respect that you want and you need and you like, then you go hang out with her on your own time.
But if she wasn't giving you the respect, is it my duty to say to Jenny, hey, you are not cool to my guy?
I would think you should,
I would think so too,
I think or if it was the other way around, Johnny isn't giving you be like, dude, that's my girl. That's my girl. You knock that shit off or get the fuck out.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And we're on the same page then. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody doesn't like
you're not going to try and like sway. Well, I would just hope that like you, I mean, I get it. 'Cause you're going to maybe tell me how you feel about said friend, but not trying to sway one way or the other. And I guess it's up to me. I would just hope that, like, say I did go out with Jenny and then, I come back, I'd hope that you wouldn't give me the cold shoulder, because I feel like that's sometimes what happens is, yeah, go ahead. You can go with your friend. And then I come back and then I'm like, oh, wow. Okay, cool. So that, now I come back and you're being a total asshole to me.
That's petty shit.
It is petty shit.
And that shouldn't
happen. But so many relationships are so petty and some people are like that. And
that's not a good relationship. That's not one you should
want to be in. No.
If you're going to hold little grudges like that, that's childish shit.
It is so childish.
Need to grow up and move on.
I know.
That's not the guy for you, or that's not the girl for you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if Jenny's the one swaying and trying to pry into this relationship too, you got to find those boundaries. Right.
Yeah, because sometimes there's those friends that just really want you for themselves. Like, once you get they're cool with you, like, going out and hanging with guys or girls or whatever, but once you become exclusive or with that, they're just like, oh, not having it.
If you're going out with Jenny on your own time and all that, you can't be upset when you come home and the guy asks you, what'd you guys talk about? And what'd you guys do?
Yeah.
Because he's going to want to know.
Right.
Because obviously Jenny's not respecting her.
Right.
Respecting him.
Yeah.
So he has the right to know what kind of shit Jenny talked about him behind his back.
Yeah. So then is it my part to be like, well, she didn't say anything because I don't want to like rock the boat and cause too much turbulence. So maybe I just want to just be like, well, no, nothing. We didn't talk about that at all. We just talked about family and chicken Caesar salad. I don't know.
I think you should tell him.
Okay.
Because, I mean, honesty.
Yeah.
Just be open and honest about everything.
Yeah.
If it's going to piss off the guy, it's going to piss off the guy. If it's going to piss off the girl, it's going to piss off the girl.
Yeah.
But then you're going to know where you're at.
Yeah. Huh.
Because, I mean, you got to talk it out.
Yeah.
Because if she's pointing out points that might be right, let's talk about it. If you're starting to agree with her,
for sure,
then let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
obviously she's going to keep talking about it to where you go, maybe it's fucking true.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to talk to him about it in the first place,
Yeah.
then that weight on that camel's back is going to be so damn heavy that eventually the straw is going to break
Right.
the camel's back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think you should talk about it.
Yeah.
Be honest. If you got to say I don't want to talk about it, and you think it's going to upset
The other person.
it probably will upset them. But
Right.
if you guys can't bounce out of that, then obviously it's not going to work.
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I know I look like a deer in headlights because I was just trying to decide if I wanted to go and spin into something else that we talked about earlier. But I think it might be a tangent. So that's why I was like kind of deer in headlights just now. But yeah, no, it makes total sense. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Good stuff. Well, I feel like we just like went so fast with that, but we're going to start doing something. We're going to start doing something different for everybody. So, well, not different, but we didn't do this last episode, but we're going to start talking about a hot topic. And so, you want to go with our hot topic, what it's going to be?
yeah. So our hot topic, what we mean by hot topic, it's not going to be anything to deal with a relationship. It might deal with a relationship and how it could affect a relationship.
Yeah.
But this is just something going on in society that we kind of want to bring up and talk about, and this is what we call hot topic.
Yeah. So each episode, we want to bring up something that is maybe going on in the public or whatever. And so we want to talk about it. And then with that, we're going to ask a couple questions, just like what we did. And it'll be a little bit shorter, but yeah. So go ahead. Talk.
Yeah.
What is our hot topic, babe?
Oh, the other thing is, is we're going to try to keep religion
And politics
out of it.
Yes.
We will. I'm not saying we won't ever talk about those things.
Yes.
But we will never give one side or the other. I mean, your beliefs is your beliefs. Your politics are your politics.
Absolutely.
And we don't give two shits on either one.
Neither.
So,
all right.
Today's hot topic: social media.
Yes.
So,
is it taking over too much? Is kind of the question.
Is it taking over everything?
I mean, is it? Yeah. I mean, social media is everywhere. Whenever, now we're talking about TikTok being sold and being banned or whatever. Is it?
I think social media is absolutely taking over this world. I mean, it's taking over so much that it's killed off TV pretty much.
I know. I question, what did I used to do before social media? I used to read books and magazines, and I don't anymore. I'm reading online, but I don't do those anymore.
People used to watch TV and
commercials.
Sitcoms and commercials and all that. And now it's podcasts.
It is? Oh, I know. Yeah.
And now it's podcasts and YouTube clips and YouTube shorts and TikToks and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's become so watched now that it's killing off regular television, regular shows and all that.
Well, before, I think we'd say, oh, we saw it on the news. We saw it here. Now it's like, oh, I saw that on Facebook. Or, oh, I saw that on TikTok. Which is so weird. So we're getting our mainstream news from
social media.
It's weird. And that leads into my question. How young is too young for social media? How old? Okay, that just didn't make any sense.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying.
I think the kids, you got to let your kid, otherwise they're going to be chewed up and spit out.
True.
I would say middle school, into middle school.
Yeah.
Becoming a teenager.
But when everybody else is doing it, Mom. My friend has Snapchat. Well, honey, you're in 5th grade. But Johnny has Snapchat. Jenny has Snapchat, Mom. Why can't I have Snapchat?
Yeah.
Why? It's not a big deal. I'm not going to do anything, Mom. I'm not.
Exactly.
Yes. So, okay.
You just gotta.
Yeah, no, I think junior high, but realistically, each family's gonna have to figure that one out on your own, and you're gonna have to be as stern as
yeah.
It's gonna be a hard one, real hard.
You got to talk with your partner and discuss. Be on the same page and stick to it.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Do you think social media is like a drug, and do you think it can ruin someone's life?
Yes, and yes. And did you hear the commercial today where they said about the social media? They're like, if you or your loved one has been on TikTok or Instagram and Facebook, and then
they're suing Instagram.
They are.
I think
They are, and they said, and if your depressed, weight loss, weight gain, suicidal, and to call the number. And I'm like,
you know what I'm waiting for?
huh.
I'm waiting for the commercial. Tell me if you remember this one.
Oh, on TV?
This is your brain.
Oh, is your brain on drugs?
And this is your brain on social media.
Oh, for sure. Oh, but it was like the egg. This
Yeah,
is your
you
brain.
remember the egg?
For sure.
This is your brain.
Yeah.
This is your brain on drugs.
Yeah. No, it's so true. Yeah, it's taken over a lot. And like, I feel like we could be in the same room and we're all scrolling.
It's so funny now because back in the day when we grew up, when there was no social media,
there was no internet.
There was no internet and all that.
Yes.
Bullying only happened on the playground.
I know. And now
it's nerdy kids that can ruin a regular.
Anybody can
ruin anybody. You know, anybody can ruin anybody now.
At 3:00 in the morning or whatever, they can say whatever, and if they get enough likes or follows or shares or whatever, like it doesn't stop at the playground. That's what really sucks. I would hate to be a kid now in today's society. It would suck.
Yeah, it
would really suck. So,
and it's one post away from ruining your life.
Absolutely. Like we were talking about that with Logan the other day about how, you know, you become a high schooler and if you say the wrong thing to somebody or whatever, and you have to just know when to eat your words or walk away. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, like they might, when I was a kid, it was like, we're going to trash can you. We're going to throw you in the locker. The toilet thing. What was that called?
Swirly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Swirly, wedgies.
Speaking of, did any of those ever happen to you?
No, it's popular.
Sheesh, humble much? It didn't happen to me either, but because I think I was a girl, I don't know. But I did get into 2 fights in high school. So I
said this the other day. The other day. I dressed up 4 times as a woman in high school.
That ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, shaved my legs, everything, and all that. And I got to a family reunion, and my cousin's like, if I had dressed up as a girl, I would have been beat up and made fun of and all this. And I go, I was kind of a cocky little fuck.
You?
Yeah.
Cocky?
I went to him, I go, sounds like you weren't very popular then.
Well, and like you said today, how when you run into people, like we ran into that guy yesterday at Target and you guys were just talking. But when other people like run into you and they talk about your baseball career, because like I've never seen this baseball career you speak of. You know, I don't know the VHS or the DVDs or whatever, but you say people are like, oh my God, you were so good. Mm-hmm. And stuff like that. So you really were. But yeah. Yeah,
it's I mean, it was a career. But people don't really believe, like, 'cause I am kind of out of shape and all that now.
You got the dad bod,
yeah,
babe.
I got the dad. I'm rocking it now.
You're rocking it really well.
And
are we getting ice cream afterward or no?
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan.
We brought it up last episode.
I know.
Didn't let me get any.
I know. But we got to work on that dad bod. Because the greater your dad bod looks, my mom bod looks that much better.
But I'll never forget, like, I was out with Roddy and the bands and all that up there, and we ran into an old friend from high school, and they started talking, and he's like, dude, Vandy was the man in baseball and all this and that. And after he left, and they're like, you really were that good, huh? I'm like, I wasn't fucking lying. Like,
right.
I go.
I've tried to Google you, and I cannot find anything.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to like go to your parents' house, and I'm gonna request some DVDs or something. I need to see. I mean, you've been playing with Logan a lot, and so you are really good at throwing and catching, and you're doing great with coaching. So I do believe you. But I'd like to see you up there on the mound throwing your stuff.
I don't even know if we have video.
You would have to
somewhere maybe.
Yeah, VHSs or something.
Somewhere. I'm sure there's something.
Right. I'm sure. With that said, I was just going to say, do we need to take pictures of every facet of our lives? Back on the whole social media thing. I mean, when we go out to restaurants, I see people taking pictures of their meal. You see kids, like there's Snapchat and there's this other one. Oh, Be Real. That's the other one where they have to like take a picture of wherever they're at that specific time. I don't have it, so I don't know exactly. And they could be like on the toilet. I mean, it is so random. I don't know. But do we have to? Can we just like be done with it? Like, and maybe it's that generation because I don't know that I do it all the time. But
yeah,
don't even look at me. I do it like at the end of the day. I get like a combination of pictures. So like today, what we did, I will add those later.
You do social media more than I do.
Yes.
I to be honest, I could delete all my social.
Oh, I don't believe you.
I could.
You're always on the Facebook Marketplace. You're
yeah.
always doing those stupid little games.
Like I said, I don't do social media. I go on social media.
Yeah. You don't post like I do.
I don't do. If it wasn't for the other podcast, the stupidest podcast, if you know.
Yeah. Reference with Roddy and Danny.
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't do social media.
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, and I'm bad at doing it on the podcast.
Yeah. You need to hire a social media manager.
Right.
Or something like that.
So yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah. It is taking over some people's lives.
It is.
I've had friends and met people that they gotta tell you what they're eating, when they're working out.
I hate that.
Like nobody gives two shit. Like
I hate the working out. I mean, like they do their map. Like I don't care.
And I'd like to. I mean, I guess I've never really talked to them. Maybe it is to keep them. What's the word?
At bay.
No.
In the loop?
If they don't post, they won't do it. So what is it?
Consistent?
No, consistent, or it keeps them. It gives them
algorithm.
Not an algorithm.
Huh?
It gives them like if I don't post my workout, I'm not going to do my workout. You know, or
it keeps them. Not grounded, but it keeps them. I know what you're saying.
I can't think of the word.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. I know what you're saying.
What's going to suck is we're going to get in the car and be like,
that's the word. You can probably just edit it in. No, I'm kidding. Yes. No, I totally get that.
But I think that's what it is why they do it. Maybe that's the only reason I could see why you do it.
Yeah. Maybe. With that said, let me ask you this. Are Facebook, the friends that we have on Facebook, are they our real friends? Like, do you consider, like, our Facebook friends your friends? I mean, I think in the past I used to be like, oh, I'm friends with them on Facebook, or they're my Facebook friends.
I consider them a companion, not even maybe
acquaintance.
Okay, I consider them an acquaintance.
Yeah,
like, and there are friends. There's some really good friends on there, but but there's acquaintances, people that I'm not real close with, but I still would like to see what's going on in your life.
Right. I mean, there's people that I know, like just from out and about and like in the area or whatever, and like I'll see them and I'm like for instance, there was this one girl and I saw her at a store and she says like, hey, like Carrie, and I was like, oh hey, and she's like, oh, it's me, so and so, and I was like, yeah, totally. Like I didn't know though, like I didn't know who she was.
What I do like about it is I consider them acquaintances, and I consider them, like we're friendly.
Yeah.
What I like about the Facebook part about it is I can see what's going on. Like I can creep a little bit,
I remember when Facebook,
if it's on their feeds or whatever.
Remember in the beginning though, and it would say who was creeping.
Yeah.
So glad that's done. Oh God.
Because I get to see kind of parts of their life, but it makes when you do run into them, like at the grocery store or something like that.
Yeah.
It gives you something to kind of talk about.
Absolutely, instead of that like awkward silence.
That awkward like.
Well, like your friend yesterday in Target.
What do you think of the weather today?
What do you think of the Twins?
That's how you don't got to just talk about sports or this or that. You can kind of be like, yeah, I saw you and the kids out on the boat the other day.
Yeah. I feel like that's always what we say. Like it's something like that. Like we always bring up like Facebook or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I just think that is the normal. And we don't pick up the phone. And I sometimes ask my clients this, like how many phone numbers do you remember from your childhood? Because, I grew up in the era where we still had a phone that was attached to the wall. And I can remember my house phone number, my grandma's.
I remember the upgrades on the phones.
Mm-hmm.
The attached phone to the wall when you got the long cord and you can go room to room.
Yes.
You're like, oh, man.
And then you'd like let it go and it would just like bing, 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 snap back. Yeah.
And then you got the cordless. Oh. You upgraded the like, whoo, we're doing good now.
But who left the cordless out? And so if you left the cordless out all night and then you're, oh my God. I know. Yeah. Or the rotary phone.
You're talking to your boyfriend or girlfriend at the time in high school and you talk so long and they're like, I gotta go, the phone's dying.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Or I was gonna one further is before we had call waiting, and so the call, people would call and it was.
All right, we need to change subject.
I know.
Because I think we're showing our age.
We really are, and that's okay. I know. I'm done with my questions. You might be the last. Go ahead.
You did all three?
I did,
Did
yeah.
I do, does it affect your emotional well-being?
No,
How do we get all 3 years done and only done one?
because I don't jaw jack.
Yeah, okay.
And I do clean, concise verbiage.
All right, does it affect your emotional well-being?
Yes. And they actually, studies have proven that it does because the amounts of likes and comments and
Well,
stuff.
I think we came up with it. That there's a lawsuit out right now
Oh, true. Yeah.
with Instagram.
Oh, so maybe we
about
did talk
it,
about yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's so sad that
That they have to even have it like that.
Well, that it does. Like, I mean, I remember growing up with kids, they were talking about the magazines and all that.
Yeah.
And how models can affect and make girls bulimic and
Yes.
all that, and
Yeah.
have eating disorders because they want to look like these women
Yeah.
in magazines.
Yeah.
Well, now that's how it is on Instagram. You got your Instagram models and
I know.
And all these kids are like, I got to be more like that. I got to be more like that. And
Well, and speaking of that, when we go to the gym and you see so many younger people and now that
videotaping everything.
oh my God,
and all
everything.
that.
But they look so damn good. And I'm like, you guys are built. And they're like 16, 17 years old. It's just crazy how the muscles they have. And they're really into that. But I think it's because,
So I walk by and they're like, damn,
look at that dad.
look at that dad. Oh,
He's flexing.
geez.
Ay!
That guy must
He's on
wow.
fleek. Oh, wait, we don't say fleek anymore. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's so sad that it affects a kid, Like, I
Yeah.
could give two shits less if you're an adult and it's affecting you. Like,
Right.
you need to grow the fuck up. But
I know. But when the kids are like, oh, I only got 50 likes. So? But I will say, I've done that too. And I've been like, oh, okay, that should be more. Or I'll do when I'm on Instagram and it says, Instagram hack part 135. And then I do it. And I'm like, I really didn't get anybody commenting. It's like scrapbooking. I used to scrapbook. And so it's literally like scrapbooking and doing all the fun stuff with stickers and cutouts. And then nobody comments.
You're a comment reader.
I am.
And I'm...
Good and bad. I know. Well, this was fun. We're kind of
Excellent.
wrapping up.
All right, I
love
got
it.
one left.
You got one left.
That's what I said.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Is there too much social media, and should you limit your platforms that you are on?
Well,
do you think there's... All right, let's break this down into the two parts. Can you be on social media... Let's start with the second part of it.
Okay.
Do you think being on multiple platforms is too much?
No.
Okay. Do you think being on social media is too much?
Yes. However, I do both. And so I was hoping it isn't about me. There are times where I think that, if you are on social media so much and your partner is getting frustrated, then you need to cool it and be in the present moment. So I'm sure that's why you came up with this damn question, fucker. No. Flip side is certain platforms call for different things. So, like Instagram and Facebook are my platform that I use for my business because I'm dealing with my clients and friends and people within my community. So those are my two. TikTok is if I'm just trying to get maybe a certain amount of views or likes or something like that. So I think they all serve a different purpose, in my opinion. But I could slow down, and I think most people should slow down. Don't ignore your person.
Yeah,
if you're on social media, definitely.
For me, in my opinion, is if you're just a normal person and have an everyday 9 to 5er,
yeah,
2, maybe 3 platforms is all you should be on.
Yeah,
go check it out.
Yeah,
if you're running a business and trying, that's different,
right?
That's not social media. That's advertising.
Correct. Yes, because I use it for advertising and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm trying to get sponsors.
When you're on social media as a person,
yeah. Do you need all the platforms?
Do you need all the platforms? Do you need to go check out everything?
Probably
you need to go
not.
see what Sarah posted on Facebook, and then go see what Sarah posted on Instagram, and then go see what Sarah posted on TikTok, and then go see what Sarah posted on...
Well, if Sarah's smart, she knows that all she has to do is click the button and it'll share to all of them. So you won't want to go see her on all of those anyway. But
there's people that do. That's what I'm saying.
I know. Then those people...
That's what I'm saying. I think as a person, there is too much social media.
There is. Well, I think they say we're really only
platforms.
supposed to have an hour of even screen time. And I know I far exceed that. I like to have my morning quiet time with social media as well as when I come home. But that's my detoxing time. And so I feel that's again, most of us are not watching the nightly news. Mm-hmm. When I was growing up, we were watching Wheel of Fortune, Hollywood Squares, Jeopardy, things like that. And so we were doing things, or like Friday Night Lineup, that we used to do as kids. So we watched, I feel like we played a lot, we got outside, but then we also had that downtime where it was like what social media is for us now. It was our media, quote unquote, our media time back then. And so we're just not doing that sitting in front of a TV. We're walking around with our phones. We're taking it to the bathroom, going to the kitchen with it.
Right.
There is too much. It's definitely overtaken. And maybe this is just a good time to say.
This is us trying to tell you, get your ass outside. Go see the sun.
Yes.
Go talk to a person face to face.
There it is. And with that said,
we can wrap up our show. And we wrap up our show with the fun way. We tell our favorite pickup line that we found.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your pickup line to end the show?
All right, so this is mine. I wish I paid more attention in science class because you and me, we got a shit ton of chemistry. Glam.
I like it.
Yeah.
Mine is, okay. So, besides being gorgeous, what are your other hobbies?
Ow! Panty drop!
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to Confessions with the Cougar and the Cub. We cannot wait to see you guys next time.
Thanks for listening.
Oh.
It was fun. I think this was such a good episode. And each episode, I think from here out, is just going to get better and better. And we're excited to bring you our take on, our
opinions on life and relationships and problems and things going on. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace out, Scout.